Hey there everyone, welcome back to Daily Carry Solutions. So I know you're looking at the title of this video and you're thinking, what the hell is Carlos talking about? Well, it goes a little something like this. Not everyone starts off with a first knife that's anywhere close to your Spydercos, Benchmades, Kizers, Emersons, or even a Kershaw. The uneducated and uninformed like I was at the time typically look for something simple and that gets the job done, and really don't know what to look for in a first knife. And that being said, I stand by my statement. Buying a cheap first knife is okay. Let's get the obvious out of the way here and talk about the time before I began carrying a knife. My dad never introduced me to pocket knives, and I wasn't ever in Boy Scouts or anything like that, so I never even had a small multi-tool with a knife. I used my keys or whatever I had around me with a sharp edge to rip open stuff like bags and boxes, and it wasn't until I helped a friend move that I actually saw the practicality of keeping a knife on me. So as the story goes, I was trying to help rip some straps off of boxes when my friend saw me struggling without a knife, and he handed me a fixed blade he kept hidden in his boot. Now, I don't remember what brand of knife it was exactly, but it was at that moment where I began to seriously consider just how practical carrying a knife could actually be. So like most people, I hopped online and I started shopping around for something to EDC. And, like most people, I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I first started looking for a knife. In fact, at the beginning, I figured the cheaper the better. I hardly knew anything about knife companies, and seeing the knife that cost $30 was a huge shock to me. I had no idea that later on I'd own knives that would make that number pale in comparison. But back to the subject, my first knife. So like I told you before, I started looking around online, and after some searching, I ordered one. A few days later, Amazon delivered my first knife, which was an M-Tech Model 378. Now, don't laugh because I still have it, and it actually helped me through a lot of situations I needed a knife for. Mind you, the stuff I have nowadays makes it seem like it's about as blunt as a spoon, but I still own it, and honestly, it's taught me some of the most important lessons I've ever learned about EDCing a knife, and I'm here to share them with you today. So here goes. Here are 5 reasons why you need a low-quality knife in your life. Reason number 1, it's expendable and it won't break your bank. A crappy knife is way better than no knife at all. You can use it for all types of stuff and lend it out to your friends without fear of emotional attachment that comes with actually owning something worth keeping for yourself. Definitely something to consider. Reason number 2, it's an easy way to learn what knife works best for your daily use. The M-Tech that I settled for had a Tonto blade. It was easy to sharpen, and it could hold its own in a self-defense situation with the right training, but the truth is, who the hell gets the right knife training? Last I heard, the winner of a knife fight dies in the hospital while the loser dies at the scene. To be honest, that's not something I plan on being caught up in, so you can imagine, utility was considered a bit higher on my list when I purchased my next knife. Reason number 3, you won't feel bad if you lose it. This kind of ties in with reason number 1 because you can potentially lend this to somebody and never get it back. Or you could accidentally lose it somewhere, or someone could steal it from you. In which case, they probably feel it's such a crappy knife that they'd give it back to you out of pity. But either way, there's no need to cry about it because you can just buy another one. Trust me, you learn to appreciate knives like these once you start getting into more expensive knives that tend to stay in the safe longer than they do in your pocket. Reason number 4, a low quality knife is a great way to learn how to sharpen and maintain a knife edge. So typically a cheap crappy knife is going to have some no-name steel or some funky way of not saying what it really is. Like, I don't know, surgical steel or the infamous 440 stainless steel that you find a lot of these gas station tactical folders have. The thing about this steel is that they're typically made using very soft metal. That's a good and a bad thing, because while it means you're going to have to sharpen it every time you cut a piece of tape, you're actually going to learn how to sharpen pretty well very quickly. So having a crappy knife is not without its benefits, if you can believe it. And reason number 5, a low quality knife makes it easier for you to learn what you want and what you don't want in a knife. So when you buy one of these Mall Ninja gas station specials, you don't know a thing about ergonomics, blade steel, carry options, detents, locking mechanisms, or even what the knife runs on. Most of the times these will be assisted opening knives on nylon washers and have screws that strip the moment you pull out $1 from your wallet.
Oh shit, we about to make a little change up in here.
So get ready to invest in some decent hardware and some good Torx bits, because this is a really easy way to learn about knife maintenance in the future. Trust me, Having a crappy knife for a while will teach you a few important details that you don't even realize until you start to hold other pocket knives. You start to look away from the aesthetics and get into the small details when it comes to how it's going to be used. Like, how big does the blade need to be? How thick should the handles be? What materials should you look for? Is it on washers or bearings? Do you need special tools to maintain it? What kind of steel am I getting? And what kind of blade shape does it have? The good news is, now you're starting to ask the right questions, and now you're well on your way to asking the most important one. Which knife is the right knife for me? Well, the good news is, there's one for everyone. The bad news is, you're going to have to try them all out for yourself. But is that really bad news? Not really, but I'll warn you. This has the potential to become an expensive hobby, and a quick search online will only prove me right, so don't bother. So if you're thinking of buying a pocket knife, or maybe you just started carrying one, do yourself a favor. Get out there and get yourself a crappy gas station knife. You won't regret it, as it'll probably teach you more about what you want in an everyday knife than anyone else can. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed this quick video. Feel free to message me at dailycarrysolutions.com if you have any questions or you'd like some advice on a good first knife. I'd be happy to help any way I can. And remember, if you EDC, think of DCS. dailycarrysolutions.com, or find me on Instagram at dailycarrysolutions. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next time.